Dear listener, welcome to this edition of New Life program. This is Adventist World Radio, the voice of hope. I'm your host, Chileno Diaz. As always, we have in store for you some of the best items that you could ever think of here at Adventist World Radio. In our program this wonderful day, we have prepared for you a topic on the health segment about perception and memories, which will be delivered unto us by Emmanuel Sunday. Immediately after him, Pastor Kigundu will also be joining us with a topic on the stewardship series known as The Slayers of Wealth Part 1. Stay put for you to continue being blessed.
Only a boy named David, only a little sling.
Only a boy named David, but he could pray and sing.
Only a boy named David, only a little brook.
Only a boy named David, but 5 little stones he took.
And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round.
And 1 little stone went up in the air.
And the giant came tumbling down.
And the giant came tumbling down.
And the giant came tumbling down. Came tumbling down.
Only a boy named David.
Only a boy named David.
Only a little sling.
Only a little sling.
Only a boy named David.
Only a boy named David.
He could pray and sing.
He could pray and sing.
Only a boy named David.
Only a boy named David at a brook.
Only a boy named David,
4,
but
5 little stones he took. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And 1 little stone went up in the air,
and the giant came tumbling.
and the giant came tumbling.
And the giant came tumbling,
tumbling, giant came tumbling, 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 tumbling.
The things that we normally think of and also how we perceive them always create a positive or negative thinking in our minds depending on how we react towards them. Perception can also be described as the process of using the sense to acquire information about the surrounding environment or situation. We now give all our attention to Emmanuel Sunday to advise us more concerning perception and memories.
Hello and welcome to our Health Lots. In our program today, we're going to talk about perception and memory. The definition of perception includes awareness. Levels of awareness vary with excellence of physical, emotional, and social habits. So subtle are the adjustments of the mind that one is rarely conscious of a difference in the highest and lowest levels of awareness. Drugs taken affect perception. Certain types of blood pressure medications have been shown to induce memory impairment. Even when fairly pronounced, the subjects were unaware of their memory loss. Perception is also influenced by the physical habits. According to messages to young people, it's clear that those who would have clear minds to discern certain devices must have their physical appetites under the control of reason and conscience. The moral and vigorous action of the higher powers of the mind are essential to the perfection of Christian character. It's also evident in the medical ministry that the world's Redeemer knew that the indulgence of appetite was bringing physical debility and deadening of the perspective faculties so that sacred and eternal things couldn't be discerned. He knew that self-indulgence was perverting the moral powers, that man's great need was conversion in heart and mind and soul, from the life of self-indulgence to the life of self-denial and self-sacrifice. In Counsels on Health, we learn that the lower passions are to be strictly guarded. The perceptive faculties are abused, terribly abused, when the passions are allowed to ruin it. As far as memory is concerned, sensory input of information, recognition, comparison, and evaluation are the first steps toward encoding information. Immediate recall, short-term memory, and long-term memory are the types of memories. Apparently, everything experienced is encoded as if by a giant movie camera, but only selected items are designated for recall. Memory retrieval is by a delicate fisher system which can be injured by using wrong circuits for actions such as lying, carelessness with promises, make-believe, doing that known to injure one, and excessive talkativeness. Many of these processes occur at cellular level, not at the conscious level. Physical habits and diet strongly influence the outcome. That is, before learning, the pyrimidine particles are scattered at random. During the REM, rapid eye movement, sleep memory particles are attached to the system in a permanent pattern. In order to improve your memory, observe strict regularity in all things. Never lie down after a meal. This promotes early senility. Don't crowd too many things into a small amount of time. On the other hand, don't allow time to pass without profitably using it. Country living with strict simplicity is most favorable to learning as well as to easy recall. Keep all things orderly in your surroundings. Don't keep in your home more things than you are able to keep in perfect order and condition. Don't have something on every desktop, table, or bookcase. Have much open space on walls, floors, yards, etc. Avoid clutter. Also, eat nothing between meals or within several hours of going to bed. Intestinal fermentation produces toxins that injure and dull the mind. Use little fluids or liquid foods at meals. Use few dishes or varieties of foods at a meal. Especially avoid harmful combinations such as milk, sugar, egg mixtures or fruit-vegetable mixtures. Never overeat. Excess nutrients such as potassium cause mental confusion. Excess sodium suppresses norepinephrine production, resulting in lack of alertness. With the electroencephalogram brainwave, we can get an indication of states of alertness. Brainwaves are slower after large meals, faster during prayer and in fasting states. Fats of all kinds contribute to mental forgetfulness. Keep a program of study of new things constantly going. Avoid excesses in all pleasurable pursuits. Overstimulation of sensory nerves sets up a condition causing forgetfulness. Avoid smoking. Smokers have been shown to have poorer memories than those who do not smoke. Lastly, train the mind to dwell on heavenly themes. It's a law of the mind that it assumes the level of those things which occupy it. Dear listener, we thank you for tuning in, and it's our prayer that the Lord will continually bless you abundantly as you plan to join us in our next program on health.
For those who were not there from the beginning of the show, that was Emmanuel Sunday with the topic on perception and memories. Hope you grasped a few tips from him. Stay tuned to Adventist World Radio so that you don't miss out. Send us your views and concerns about this program. Do so by writing to the producer, Adventist World Radio, P.O. Box 42276, code 00100, Nairobi, Kenya. Our email address is awrnairobi@eau.adventist.org.
Let us sing a song that will cheer us by the way. In a little while we're going home, for the night will end in the everlasting day. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, in a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while we're going home. There's a rest beyond, there's relief from every care. In a little while we're going home, and no tears shall fall in that city bright and fair. In a little while we're going home. In a little while, in a little while, we shall cross the billows foam. We shall meet at last when the stormy winds are past. In a little while
The song that you have just heard was played courtesy of Adventist World Radio. Wealth is normally considered as a large amount of money or possession that one has. Some of them view it as an abundance or great quantity of something. Pastor Kigundu is prepared with the topic on the snares of wealth, part 1. Let us listen to what he has for us on that topic.
Dear listener, today we continue looking at the snares of wealth. Wealth may bring unhappiness and anxiety. As a young boy, I read a story in the Reader's Digest that illustrates this point about wealth. The title of the story was A Sense of Values. Nathan Bond, a poor young soldier, marries a young lady and they have a happy marriage. After the war, he gets a job as a newspaper reporter and they struggle financially to make ends meet. Their marriage is happy and they are blessed with 2 children. It is a typical happy home until when Nathan discovers that he can draw cartoons for the newspapers and consequently makes a lot of money. What follows is pathetic. Long hours in the office, involvement in parties as he becomes a celebrity, drinking to socialize, little time with his children, and eventually unfaithfulness to his wife and a filing for a divorce from a broken-hearted wife. How true the above scenario is in many families. The coming of wealth brings unhappiness and anxiety. Dear listener, I want you to consider with me the following 5 testimonies of wealthy people in the U.S. John D. Rockefeller said, "I have made many millions, but they have brought me no happiness." W.H. Vanderbilt said, "The care of $200 million is enough to kill anyone. There is no pleasure in it." John Jacob Astor said, "I am the most miserable man on earth." Henry Ford said, "I was happier when doing a mechanic's job." Andrew Carnegie said, "Millionaires seldom smile." The uncertainty and insecurity of material things make materialism the mother of all uncertainties. That is why Christ advised in Matthew 6 verse 19 to 24 about investing our treasures in heaven was followed immediately by admonition not to worry about material things in Matthew 6 verse 25 to 34. People lay up treasures on earth not only because of greed and covetousness and selfishness, but also because of fear, insecurity, and anxiety about what the future holds. Unfortunately, putting our hopes on earthly treasure does not minimize anxiety, but multiplies it because earthly treasures are so uncertain. Tony Campolo, a professor of sociology in Eastern University in Pennsylvania, told a story in a sermon that illustrates this point. A certain man was traveling by train in India on a 3-day journey. Out of fear for thieves, he clutched his luggage tightly to his chest as he sat. He kept fighting sleep so as to protect his bag. After some time, he lost his fight against sleep and fell into a heavy slumber. Unfortunately, while he slept, thieves stole his luggage. When he woke up and discovered that his luggage had been stolen, he really panicked, but after realizing there was nothing he could do, he relaxed and slept soundly. It is true, wealth makes us anxious like that Indian, as we fear we may lose it. We should adopt the stance of John Wesley when he was told that one of his buildings had burned down. He said, well, that is one burden less for me." Wealth may end in ultimate meaninglessness. Unfortunately, we live in a society that makes the pursuit of wealth the goal of life. Many of us are led to believe that the ultimate purpose of life is to make money and to amass wealth. However, many of us will discover too late that what we have spent all our lives, energy and efforts and creativities pursuing has no substance. It is nothing more than chasing the wind, a mirage in the desert. like Solomon, will discover that the pursuit of wealth for its own sake is foolishness of the greatest order. Too late, like Solomon, will be forced to confess, "Yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done, and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun." Ecclesiastes 2, verse 11. Wealth will be meaningless to us on the day of judgment. It will not get us out of the hook. John Piper, in his book Desiring God, page 156, describes the futility of health when it comes to the day of judgment. This is what he says: "How absurd and tragic the love of money will seem on that day, like a man who spends his whole life collecting train tickets and in the end is so weighed by the collection that he misses the train." Wealth often leads to pride and elitism. The tragic thing about wealth is that after acquiring it, we start thinking we are better and smarter than those who do not have it. We forget the advice of Moses to the Israelites in Deuteronomy 8 verse 18 when he says, "But remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to make wealth and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your forefathers as it is this day." How much like King Herod we are, who rather than giving God the glory for his God-given abilities sought to take that glory for himself. The story in Acts 12 is very clear about the outcome of trying to take credit for our God-given abilities. It says, "Immediately, because Herod did not give praise to God, an angel of the Lord struck him down, and he was eaten by worms and died." Acts 12 verse 23. Dear listener, are you giving glory to God for your prosperity, or are you taking all credit for yourself?
It was delightful having your company, and I really appreciate. Do join us again here at Adventist World Radio, the voice of hope. If you have any comments, suggestions, or opinions, send them to the producer, Adventist World Radio, P.O. Box 42276, code 00100, Nairobi, Kenya. Our email address is awrnairobi@eau.adventist.org. From the entire New Life production team, we say thank you and be blessed. I have been your presenter, Tileno Diambo.
Only a boy named David, only a little sling.
Only a boy named David, but he could pray and sing.
Only a boy named David, only a little brook.
Only a boy named David, but 5 little stones he took.
And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round.
And 1 little stone went up in the air.
And the giant came tumbling
And the giant came
down.
tumbling
And the giant
down.
came tumbling down. Came tumbling down.
Only a boy named David,
Only a boy named David,
only a little sling.
only a little sling.
Only a boy named David,
Only a boy named
but he could
David,
pray and
he
sing.
could pray and sing.
Only a boy named David,
Only a boy named David
only a
at the brook.
Only a boy named David,
4,
but
5 little stones he took, and 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And 1 little stone went up in the air,
and the giant came tumbling.
And the giant came
And
tumbling.
the giant came tumbling,
And the giant came tumbling, 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 tumbling down. Our Father in heaven is the source of life. Our Father in heaven is the
source of life, the source of wisdom, the source of wisdom and of joy.
The sunshine,
The sun and the rain that gladdened and refreshed the earth, that gladdened and refreshed the hills and seas and plains. Oh, speak to us of the Creator's love. Oh, speak to us of the Creator's love. God is love, 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 God is love. God is love is written upon every opening bud, upon every spire of springing grass.
The lovely birds making the air vocal with their happy songs.
the delicately tinted flowers in their perfection perfuming the air. The lofty trees of the forest with their rich foliage of living green, all testify to the tender motherly care of our God. God is love, God is love, God is love, God is love, God is love. Somebody's knocking at your door.
Somebody's knocking at your door.
Somebody's knocking at your door. Somebody's knocking at your door. Somebody's knocking at your door. Knocking at your door.
Somebody's knocking at your door.
Knocking at your door. Oh, sinner, why don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door. Knocks like Jesus. Somebody's knocking at your door. Knocks like Jesus. Somebody's knocking at your door. Somebody's knocking at your door. Oh, sinner, why don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door.
Can't you hear him?
Somebody's knocking at your door. Can't you hear him? Somebody's knocking at your door. Oh, sinner, why don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door. Answer, Jesus. Somebody's knocking at your door. Answer, Jesus. Somebody's knocking at your door. Oh, sinner, why don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door. 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 Oh Lord, I want two wings to veil my face. Oh Lord, I want two wings to fan my brow. Oh Lord, I want two wings to fly away, so the devil won't do me no harm. Oh Lord, I want two wings to veil my face. Oh Lord, I want two wings to fan my brow. So the devil won't do me no harm. Did he come in the dew of the morning? No. Did he come in the heat of the noon? No. Did he come in the cool of the evening? Yes, and he washed my sins away. Oh Lord, I want two wings to veil my face. Oh Lord, I want so the devil won't do me no harm. Will he come as a shadow in the darkness? No. Will he come as an angel of light? No. Will he come in the clouds of glory? Just to take his children away. Oh Lord, I want two wings to veil my face. Oh Lord, I want two wings to fan my brow. Oh Lord, I want two wings to fly away, so the devil